Here we go. This is the first official episode of Car Keeping, the podcast where I talk about my goalkeeping journey and different stories, takeaways, lessons that I learned, and hopefully a lot more. I've had in mind to create a podcast for years now, and I haven't really started because I haven't been sure where to start, what to say, or even if I'm qualified to do this. But you know what? Last night I couldn't sleep because I had this thought in my head that why don't I start telling stories and start sharing my journey while driving to practice? Because every single day from 9 to around 9:15, I go from my home city to Raufoss where I play, and I basically just listen to music. So I figured, why not just start a podcast? And because I train every day, I do this ride every day. I might as well start recording stuff and telling my story because I think that I have quite a bit of lessons and quite a bit of cool stories around goalkeeping and life in general as well to share. And that's gonna happen, I guess, quite a bit until I get something that locks in my phone. Um, But that's just the price of starting something new that doesn't have all the equipment and gear in place yet. Yeah. So for today's topic, I wanted to talk about what I think are some main separators between professionals and amateurs, because I think that's crucial. There are so many people with ambitions. There are so many people that at least say they want to go pro, that they want to have a journey that is extraordinary, fantastic. They want to make a living off of playing football. And let me first start by qualifying myself a little bit, because I think it's very important that when you talk about a certain topic, that you are in some way or form qualified to talk about it. So a, com- a professional compared to an amateur is a big topic because there's so many opinions on this. For myself, I've played professional for 3 years, meaning that I make a living out of playing football. I've been on the journey of playing youth football. I played college football, and then I traveled back home to Norway after college. Then I signed a sort of a semi-pro contract, and eventually that turned into signing a professional contract. Right now, I play in Obos League, which is the second tier. Excuse me, I'm tired. Second tier in Norwegian football, and yeah, I play at quite a high level, I would say. I'm still on a journey. I haven't gotten to the place I want to be at yet. That's why these habits that I want to talk about are also things that I currently implement, that I work on myself, and there are probably a few things that I don't do as good as I wish. Um, but yeah, we're all on a journey. It's um, it's one thing to talk about how to get there, but it's another thing to do the actual stuff. But the way I see a professional is someone that does the basics at all time. Meaning, talking technically, a professional goalkeeper does all the basic skills at a very high level all the freaking time. An amateur or semi-professional can also do the basics, but they don't do it as often. Let's say there are 100 actions when there is a shot coming straight at you, with a simple scooping technique being the option to use. A professional will stick that scoop 99 out of 100 times because it's a basic technique and it's something that every goalkeeper is expected and should should most likely save. An amateur might save 70 to 80 of them and stick it and give some rebounds. A semi-professional might stick 90 of them. But then again, you see the difference here is not that one goalie is not able to perform the technique. It's more so about the consistency of performance. So consistency, major factor. Another thing that separates professionals and amateurs is their daily habits. I think that a professional goalkeeper, most of them are quite all in on it because there's so high competitions in the football market because there are so many people in the world that want to be footballers. There are naturally people that are all in, people that simply go in on their dreams. They are going to be footballers. They're in academies that train twice a day. They eat, sleep, and breathe football. If you don't do that, is it a likeliness of you becoming a professional? Is that the same as the guy that's going all in? I would say maybe not. And most professional footballers are all in on their journey, meaning that every single action they do throughout their day, they ask themselves the question of, does this make me a better footballer? And it's not that the professional doesn't eat chocolate, doesn't eat some candy, sweets. Some footballers take snooze, some drink some energy drinks. Yes, of course. But the point is that they do things that makes them feel better, gets them in a better state, that is some sort of, that transfers in some sort of way into better performance. I think the amateurs and semi-pros are more emotional in that sense. They do things that they feel like doing instead of the disciplines that they know is right for their journey. And yeah, it's a big separator. You just got to make the distinction between like what is actually helping you and what is not helping you. Next thing that I would say, or as a separation, is investing. You know that what top players do is that they invest in themselves, not just on the pitch, but also outside. That comes down to daily habits. That comes down to gaining knowledge and capacity. That comes down to becoming as physically capable as you possibly can. And by investing in yourself, I mean that they are willing to put in both time, effort, and potentially money as well to become better. I see so many that complain about a certain result they got, or they complain about simply not getting the chance while them not being actually qualified enough and good enough. And that's an issue. You don't want to end up there. What I did last year, as an example, and the years prior, but let's just take last year. Last year, I invested thousands of dollars into a professional goalkeeper psychology expert that's worked with QPR, Queens Park Rangers, for those that don't know. And I invested into a personal analyst that looked into all my games, provided stats. We walked through the games and different actions, both positive actions, negative actions. He plotted down stats from all my games so I could look at where are my weak points, my weak sides. And yeah, it cost me money. Yeah, it took a lot of time. But at the end of the day, I do it because I don't want to just be a pro. I want to become a better professional. And these are the separators. I'm willing to work to earn money, reinvest that money into myself, because I know that as I invest more into myself, my earning capacity as well is going to increase by time. So all in all, you know, there are so many more things that I could talk about here. But I think the main takeaway are quite simple. You know, being disciplined, that's one thing. You need to do the work not based on what you feel, but based on your plans, based on what you know is required from you. That disciplines. You need to create positive daily habits. Positive daily habits means simply doing things that pushes you towards your goal. That also includes avoiding things that drags you away from it. For example, if you have negative people around you that tells you that, hey, your dreams are not valid. You can't achieve what you want to achieve. Hey, you might want to decrease the amount of time that you spend with those type of people. That might be a habit change. Third thing, you want to create consistency, because consistency is what lets you build on what you're doing. Consistency also actually outlives people or outperforms people by being in the game longer. If you're consistent, if you put in the work time after time after time, there will be so many players in your competition that simply leaves. They get injured, they get tired, they get bored because they can't stick with the uh, they can't stick with the consistency and simply doing the same stuff over and over and over again. And I think if you do those things on a daily basis over a long period of time, you will get into the professional game. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. The professional game is more about getting somewhat better each day, doing that over a long period of time, creating good habits and avoiding bad ones. And then it's also about investing in yourself, because if you only do what you know to do right now, that's probably not enough if you're not at the professional level. Because if it were, you would most likely be there. For that reason, I would say it's also very important to know what you want. That's going to be my last add-on here. Figure out what you want and then go after it. Some might say they want to be a professional, but just know that as you say, I want to be a professional, that includes doing these actions. If you don't do them, there's no way. There's just simply no way. Meaning that you must be willing to put in these actions to want that goal of becoming a professional. Anyways, I think that's it for episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I rather practice. And yeah, see you in the next pod.